In the dim glow of chandeliers at Manhattan's most exclusive Italian eatery, La Bella Vita, a single word shattered the evening's fragile elegance. "Stronza," snarled Victor Rossi, the billionaire tech mogul whose fortune could buy empires, as he glared at the young waitress fumbling with his Chianti glass. The insult, Italian for bitch, hung in the air like poison, meant to humiliate her in a language he assumed she couldn't grasp. But Elena Marino's eyes flashed with fire, and in flawless Italian she replied, "Signore, se fossi una stronza, le direi che il suo ego è più grande il suo portafoglio. Ma sono solo una cameriera che merita rispetto." Sir, if I were a bitch, I'd tell you your ego is bigger than your wallet, but I'm just a waitress who deserves respect. The room fell silent, forks froze in midair, as Victor's world tilted on its axis. Victor Rossi wasn't born with a silver spoon. He'd clawed his way from the gritty streets of Naples to Silicon Valley's penthouses. At 52, he was a self-made titan, his company Rossi Tech revolutionizing AI with algorithms that predicted consumer desires before they even knew them. But success had hardened him like steel. Divorced twice, estranged from his only daughter, he wielded words like weapons, especially in Italian, his mother's tongue, to assert dominance in a world that bowed to his billions. That night, he'd stormed into La Bella Vita after a brutal board meeting, his temper frayed. The restaurant, with its velvet booths and walls adorned with frescoes of Tuscan hills, was his sanctuary, a nod to his roots. He expected perfection, and when Elena accidentally brushed his sleeve while pouring wine, spilling a single drop on his Armani cuff, his fury erupted. Elena, 28, was no stranger to hardship. Raised in a tiny apartment in Brooklyn by her immigrant grandparents after her parents died in a car accident when she was 10, she'd learned Italian at Nonna's knee, whispering recipes for risotto and tales of the old country. Dreams of becoming a linguist had been shelved when Nonna fell ill with Alzheimer's, forcing Elena to drop out of college and take double shifts at La Bella Vita. Her days blurred into nights of sore feet and forced smiles, serving the elite who tipped in condescension. But beneath her crisp white apron beat a heart fierce with resilience, fueled by memories of her grandfather's stories. La lingua è la chiave del mondo, Elena. Speak it with pride. She wasn't just a waitress. She was a survivor, piecing together online courses in her rare free hours, hoping one day to teach languages to kids like her. As Victor's insult landed, Elena's mind raced back to a childhood memory. Her first trip to Italy at 12, funded by neighbors' donations after her parents' funeral. Standing in Rome's Colosseum, she'd felt the weight of history, vowing never to let anyone diminish her. Now, facing this arrogant stranger, she channeled that strength. Her response wasn't just words, it was a declaration of worth. Victor's face drained of color, his mouth agape like a fish yanked from water. The other diners, Wall Street wolves and socialites, whispered, phones discreetly recording. "Who is she?" one murmured. Victor, recovering, barked in English. "How dare you? Do you know who I am?" Elena straightened, her voice steady but laced with emotion. "Si, signore. You're Victor Rossi, the man who built an empire on predicting what people want. But you couldn't predict that a simple waitress speaks your language better than you respect people." She set the wine bottle down with deliberate calm, her hands trembling slightly, not from fear, but from the adrenaline of standing her ground. The manager, Mr. Lombardi, rushed over, his face pale. "Elena, that's enough, sir. I apologize profusely." But Victor waved him off, his eyes locked on Elena. For the first time in years, he felt exposed, like the boy from Naples who'd been mocked for his ragged clothes. The confrontation escalated when Victor demanded she be fired on the spot. "This insolence won't stand," he thundered. Elena's heart pounded. Losing this job meant Nonna's care bills would go unpaid, her dreams deferred yet again. Tears pricked her eyes, but she refused to let them fall. "Fire me if you must," she said in Italian, switching back to challenge him. "Ma ricordi, la ricchezza non compra l'anima. But remember, wealth doesn't buy the soul. The diners shifted uncomfortably, some applauding softly, others averting eyes. Mr. Lombardi hesitated, knowing Elena was his best employee. Reliable, multilingual, the one who charmed difficult patrons. Victor stormed out, leaving $100 bill crumpled on the table, but the damage lingered. That night, alone in his sprawling Upper East Side penthouse, overlooking a city that worshipped him, Victor couldn't shake her words. He poured himself a scotch, staring at a faded photo on his desk. Him as a teen, working in his uncle's trattoria in Naples, enduring insults from wealthy tourists. "How did I become them?" he muttered. Insomnia clawed at him, memories flooding back. His first wife leaving because he prioritized deals over dinners. His daughter Sophia's last email. "Dad, money isn't love." Elena's face haunted him, a mirror to his forgotten self. Meanwhile, Elena trudged home to her cramped apartment, where Nonna sat by the window, humming forgotten lullabies. "Cara mia, why so sad?" Nonna asked in fractured Italian. Elena forced a smile, recounting the story lightly, but inside, fear gnawed. The next day, viral videos of the exchange exploded online. #Waitress Clapback trended, with millions praising her poise. Offers poured in, scholarships, job interviews, but Elena ignored them, focused on her shift. She wasn't seeking fame, she wanted dignity. 2 days later, Victor returned to La Bella Vita, not in fury, but humility. Dressed down in a simple shirt, he asked for Elena's table. She approached warily, menu in hand. "What can I get you?" "Sir?" she said in English, guarded. He met her gaze. "An apology, in Italian, if you'll allow." Haltingly, he began, "Mi dispiace profondamente. Ero un idiota. La tua risposta mi ha fatto riflettere sulla mia vita. I'm deeply sorry, I was an idiot. Your response made me reflect on my life." Elena's eyes widened. This wasn't the mogul from before. He continued sharing his story, the poverty, the climb, the isolation. "I forgot where I came from. You reminded me." Tears welled in Elena's eyes as she listened. For the first time she saw beyond the billionaire, a man broken by his own success. "We all have battles," she replied softly. "Mine is caring for my nonna. Yours is remembering kindness." Victor nodded, then pulled out his phone. "Let me help. Rossi Tech has a scholarship program for linguists. And for your grandmother, top care on me." Elena hesitated, pride warred with practicality. But seeing Nonna's fading smile in her mind, she accepted, not as charity, but partnership. Their unlikely friendship blossomed. Victor visited Nonna, sharing stories in Italian that sparked lucid moments in her. He reconnected with Sophia, crediting Elena's wake-up call. Elena, with the scholarship, finished her degree and started teaching at a community center, inspiring immigrant kids with language's power. Challenges arose. Media scrutiny tested their bond. Old habits tempted Victor back to arrogance. But resolutions came through honest talks, like late-night coffees where they dissected life's ironies. Months later, at Elena's graduation, Victor stood in the audience, clapping loudest. In her speech, she said, "Words can wound or heal. Choose wisely, for they reveal your soul." Victor, tears streaming, whispered to himself, "Grazie, Elena." The story of the billionaire and the waitress spread, a beacon that wealth means nothing without heart. In a world quick to judge, their tale reminded us, true power lies in empathy, and a single voice, raised with courage, can change everything. It's not about the language you speak, but the humanity you show. And in that, we all have billion-dollar potential.